Well, welcome back, my friends. Oh, look at the scab go right there. To another rousing rendition of Choir Boys Outdoors and Apoc Survival Tools in D2 steel, designed by Jason Breeden. This is the Torrent. Now, when I was at Blade Show, I actually got to meet Jason, the designer. I got to see Patrick Shipley again, and Patrick sent me home with 3 of Jason's designs: the Torrent, the Zephyr, and the Whisper 2. This is the larger fixed blade. There's a small neck knife, and which I'll use as a pocket fixed blade, and then a pocket knife. This thing really surprised me, right? It looks cool. It looks badass. I love the looks of it. It feels nice in hand, all that. But this thing is a performer. It came very, very sharp. Apoc has really, and I don't want to say surprised, like I didn't believe they'd do it, but when you get into production run stuff, guys, y'all know how that is. Depending on what company it is, it could be hit or miss, and when it's hit or miss, it's frustrating. But Apoc has really been consistent with their sharpness on their knives and things like that. This is no different. We cut and cut and cut. Now, here's the thing with this particular video. I went over to the studio yesterday to film it. And while I was there, Kirk usually helps me out. He wasn't feeling well. So I shot this thing on my own, which I do 90% of the time anyway. But I realized about halfway through the video, or I didn't realize, I figured out halfway through the video, this thing needs a part 2. Now, I'm going to have to sit down, watch the video again, because here's the thing. If you're new here, 2 things. One, I talk to you about the knife as we go, but I'm narrating. This is the first time me seeing the knife perform, and there's a difference. I highly recommend, if you're new in your knife journey, cut some stuff, but film yourself cutting it. You don't have to show anybody. It's not for that. But one, it's a way to learn, right? And just kind of film your progression. 2, you can really get the nuances of the knife. I do that sometimes, even when I'm not reviewing a knife. And for some people, that's going to sound kind of weird, but the truth of the matter is, my whole channel is about learning, right? So what I tell everybody is this. If you just want to watch the knife work and you don't want to hear my rambling, turn the volume off, put some music on, but watch the knife work. Why the hell I decided to try to cut like that, I don't know, but it worked. Here's what I want to do. I'm going to give you the specs. Now, it comes in a Kydex sheath, and it's got like some nylon straps. It is Molly compatible. Jason is a good dude. I really enjoyed meeting him. Patrick's also always a joy to talk to. But here's the thing. At the end of the day, it comes down to the knife, the performance of the knife. I have been impressed, and I've said this earlier in the video, and you'll probably hear me say it a couple times. The sharpness of Apoc has really been on. Their knives aren't like these elaborate things. They're knives. They're cutting tools. They look like knives. They're very clean. It's got like a very clean look to it. Now, I love this. This has more of a Eastern Tonto style look to it. Obviously, it's smaller than that. Watch how it just kind of blows through this rope, man. They do a good job with their D2. That rope right there will end an edge. It's got aluminum bits, mud, sand, all kind of stuff in it. The knife performed very well. The more that I'm in the knife tube world and in the knife game and use knives more and more and review knives more and more, I've really got to where I enjoy testing different stuff. I just do. Even if I'm not putting it on camera, I enjoy reviewing. I enjoy doing what I do and learning. What I've learned with Apoc is 3 things. 2 of them we've hit on. They make a knife that look like a knife. I love that. Plain, and we'll throw that in the first category. They come sharp, and their handles are good. Those are 3 things I look for. The channel is a function type thing. Now, what I was doing there, we have to fence off the studio. Kirk has two puppies, Bunker and Echo, and they're getting older like mine are, and they like to explore. So what I'm doing here, I'm not making punji sticks for the kids like I normally enjoy doing. Take a good look right there. I know there's stuff on the blade, but that's just a good looking knife. So what I was doing is making some pegs so I can peg the fence down where they don't get in. I got a couple lemons. Look how thin those slices are. Let me give you some specs. Overall length, and I pull them as I go. The overall length is 9 7/8 inches. We're going to call the blade length 4 3/4. I'm going to give it a cutting edge. Well, let's give it a cutting edge of 4 3/4 and give it a overall length of 4 13/16. The handle length, the actual handle scales themselves, and I believe that's G10 with G10 liners. It's a really cool feel. It's just a cool vibe of a knife. The handle scales themselves are right at 5 inches. The inner grip is 4 5/16. If you needed to use the pommel, you could and make that 4 3/8. The handle thickness is right at, let's see guys, right at, let's call that 5/8. Y'all want to? That's what we're going to. Blade stock looks like it's right at about an 1/8. No. Yeah. Blade stock's a solid 1/8. The balance is really good. It has that Eastern, that Japanese style, right? Which is a cool look. It's a cool vibe. Here's the thing. When I'm sitting here kind of looking at this knife, doing the narration, I'm watching it work. You're watching it work. The thing with this knife is this. It came really sharp. I was very impressed with the sharpness, okay? And I know I've mentioned that several times. But you know what? The edge bevels, all that looks clean. I believe if you really, really wanted to, because this knife came with a nice toothy edge. Here's what you have, and I'll get back to my point. The pommel is nice and rounded, so you can put your thumb there for more control when you're stabbing. This is a cool Eastern style, samurai style, Tonto style looking knife, right? Even though it's more, it's I said Eastern Tonto, but well, I don't know. Yeah, Eastern Tonto. It's got a small ridge up the back right where the handle meets the blade. But this is an Eastern style knife that you can bushcraft with, that you can start a fire with. It has a great 90-degree spine. It handled everything well. Now, when I said I'm going to do a part 2, I've got to kind of figure out what else I want to do. I honestly, I might do like more food prep with it. And here's the thing with me. If I'm doing some food prep, if it's potatoes, if it's letting Megatron cut some stuff up, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a kitchen knife and it's the primary knife. But overall, this knife, Jason's designed this knife to cover a lot of different tasks. It's got a very, very cool vibe, but a lot of usefulness. If we go back to the sheath real quick, just indulge me for a minute. Let's see if y'all can hear it. It clicks in, clicks out, clicks in. It's got a way you can make this a scout carry. Okay, so you can go scout carry, you can go basic carry. Hell, you can take the nylon straps off and go Molly compatible. You could use some Ranger bands or some zip ties and do kind of a samurai style carry if you wanted to do that. I love the color combo they used. It's kind of a burgundy and grayish black. I love that look. It's very, very clean. Jason did an amazing job. I'm excited to do the Zypher and the pocket knife. Now, Patrick told me, and here's the tie-in, okay? Apoc Survival Tools is under Cass Iberia's umbrella. Now, don't ask me to explain all the nuances there. We've had Patrick a couple times on Blade Talk with Scab and Joe, and I honestly can't wait to see what Joe thinks of these. Joe from the Steel Mindset. I really, this is his kind of vibe. I might send them to Eric Hussein when I'm done. they're just cool knives, man. And the fact that you can take these knives and do some bushcrafting, do some camping, do tasks that I like to do. The whole thing with like the extension cord and shit like that, honestly, most people don't do it. A lot of the stuff I do, most people don't do. You see the way it handled that sandblast hose. That was the 1-inch inner diameter hose that looks like, you know, a regular radiation hose or radiator hose, not a radiation hose, would be in deep trouble. But that's 4-ply. It's reinforced 1-inch inner diameter sandblast hose. It made short work of it. It did like an accordion style cut. And that accordion style cut, guys, that's not just to show you sharpness, that's control of the knife. Because every time you come around making the cut and you dig a little deeper, that's being able to manipulate the knife to do that. It didn't take a lot of effort to do that. Here, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Every now and then, guys, I'll do some things that everybody does. We'll do a little feather sticking. We'll do some light batoning, right? I'll strike a ferro rod. I'll slice fat wood. I'll cut rope. And then I'll just nail a knife into a tree stump. And I'd love to give you some kind of scientific reasoning for it, but I don't know. I just felt like doing it. The knife's badass, dude. I'm telling you right now, I've been excited the more and more that I do Apoc. I like doing it. It's important. Now look right here, and then I'm gonna tell you something. Man, it got some good slices in. What I was gonna say is Patrick sent these home for me to check out, and I'm always honored when a company thinks enough of my channel to let me review stuff. But then he just kind of kept handing me stuff. And I don't mean just blades. I mean like signs and show signs and all kind of like posters. And I come to the realization it wasn't so much they thought a lot of my channel as it was they didn't want to pack all that shit back up and take it. So Patrick, thank you, buddy. Appreciate you there. But I'm telling y'all right now, Patrick's one of the best dudes and one of the most knowledgeable guys. Like one of the most knowledgeable like background guys that you'll find in the knife world. He's a great source of information. Jason, he sent me home with a huge cleaver that I love, but Jason's designs are insanely functional. Would I carry him? You're damn right. Listen, there was a time in this country where 22 vets a day took their own lives. Now listen to me, guys. Vets, all that means, the only reason I bring it up is this, to let you know you're welcome here. You have a place here. We love you. I back the blue. A lot of people don't. I totally get it. I'm not here to argue with you about it. Something I believe in, you don't have to. Back the blue till it happens to you, Scab. Well, it's happened to me more than it'll happen to most, right? Finally, if you are an addict, and Lord knows I am, never quit quitting. Guys, the Apoc Torrent. Now, Patrick, or Jason, if you guys are watching this video, please put in when it's going to drop, because I'm Scab. You're not. And we go on.